So if you're out there struggling with an addiction, then I invite you to join me for a 14-day sober challenge. You can hop in our Facebook group, which will be posted down below. And every day we're going to check in with how we're doing, how we're feeling, what we've experienced, and be able to share with each other what we're kind of going through, so together we can get to that 14 days together. Now, why 14 days, you might ask? And that's a great question. Well, ultimately, 14 days is long enough that it's going to jar the system a bit, so that when we go back to using, it's going to be like, whoa, like I experienced such a different reality when I was in that 14-day period. Like, I don't really like this old reality anymore. It's almost like entering the Matrix, where you take that pill and before you know it, you can't go back. You can't see the old anymore. And I found that 2 weeks is enough to push ourselves. And at the same time, it's not too much to where it's going to be like, oh my God, 14 days, are you kidding me? My guess is that in that 14 days, even though it's going to be tough, you are probably going to find some relief. You're probably going to experience a different side of life that maybe you've never been able to get through, maybe you've been struggling to hit, or maybe that you just thought was out of reach. I know with my addiction that I'm going to be entering this challenge with streaming movies and videos, that I have only gotten to 14 days, I think 3 times in my life, from when I first started watching TV when I was like, 2 years old. And so this is definitely a big challenge for me. And every time I've hit that 14 days, just like I said before, I can't use the same anymore. It's like I experienced so much freedom, so much less anxiety. I was connecting with people better, and I just felt better about myself. And all of that has been enough to keep me coming back to try to get sober over and over again. However, as you know, quitting an addiction is not easy and it takes time. And so I invite you guys to join me on this challenge, whatever your addiction is, whether it be weed, alcohol, marijuana, which is weed, porn, sugar, etc. You name it. Any addiction is welcome. And so another question you might be asking is, okay, what if I don't make it the full 14 days? Hey, don't worry about it. You are not going to get kicked out of the group. You're not going to be judged. It's a very difficult task, and you're more than welcome to restart your day count and continue on. Most likely, after the challenge, I'm going to keep the group going because I'm guessing by then there will be people that have gotten through the 14 days, and it'll be kind of like a communal effort, and I'm not just going to shut it down, so we can continue 14-day challenges for the remainder of the history of the internet, I guess. So what if I'm already sober from an addiction? Can I still enter the challenge? Absolutely. This is open to anybody who maybe just wants to even get some more clean time under their belt and maybe share some of their wisdom and just support others that are really at that very first stage here. So you're more than welcome to join, and you can just hypothetically pretend that you're starting over at day 1. And so I'm really excited for this. I'm really excited for an opportunity to get sober from this addiction, because it's something that I've been struggling with. And I know there's a lot of you out there that are struggling as well and having difficulties getting to that, just being able to quit in general, or even have a few days off. And I know totally what that's like. So I'm here to support you as well. We're going to be sharing tips and tricks within the group. And if you are curious, okay, so the last final question here might be like, okay, so how do I do this? Like, that's all well said and done. Let's just get sober for 14 days. What can I actually do to do that? Because I've been trying forever. Well, I invite you then to download my free How to Get Sober in 2023 guide. It's going to be linked down below as well. I'm going to also post that in the Facebook group if you haven't downloaded that already. And essentially, it's going to have 7 things that I really recommend doing and that I've done personally to help quit addictions in the past. And it's something that I'm going to follow during this 14-day period as well. Each one of these tips, I got to take my own medicine here. And so I invite you to download that, and that's going to give you a bit of a framework into some things you can do, because it's not as easy as just saying, okay, I'm going to be sober for 14 days, let's go. There is going to be action that needs to be taken. And again, each day we can check in with how those activities or how the tips have been working for us, if we've learned anything new, if we can even add to the list, maybe something that I'm sure there's people out there, and maybe some of you that are going to enter the challenge that are doing things to get sober that I've never even thought of, and that are going to add a ton of benefit to the other people that are trying to quit as well. So just a little preview here. Some of those things are going to be exercise, food, and nutrition, getting some new hobbies, and those are just a few there. Meditation's also another one. And in that PDF that I mentioned below, it's going to explain in detail more of these. So I definitely invite you to check that out. And I also invite you one more time to join me for the challenge, 14-day challenge. It starts Monday, the 16th of January. And again, I invite you to click on the Facebook group link down below. You're going to enter the Facebook group, and from there, just introduce yourself, share what addiction you're working on, and also where you're from. So guys, best of luck on the 14 days. I'm looking forward to meeting some of you and getting sober together. So have a great one and talk to you soon. Peace.